Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. What we got going on today is I didn't really do much yesterday. I kind of took a break. I came out here and kind of just set the dash in here. I got it level, stuck the console in there to make sure it all lined up. It looks really good. So what I'm going to do right now is more or less just cut a little brace where I can kind of weld it from here to the chassis, and then I'll be able to remove the skin and go ahead and build the mounts in there. And I'm going to box those in off of the 70 and use the original dash mounts and just kind of thin those up. So let's get to it. Okay, so what I've done is come in here. I ended up cutting this piece that I'd kept out, and I'm about to make like a cardboard pattern for the inside of here. And more or less, I'm going to cut a piece of sheet metal to stick in here, and then I'm going to more or less plug weld it in from this side. I'll also seam weld it back here as well. Back here as well, but also, and so that'll kind of make this whole inner structure here one piece. And also, I'm actually going to bring it in front, probably about right here. And, you know, honestly, I've considered going the full route, and I may do that. Hey guys, it's a new day here. So just a little update from yesterday. Not only did I get the brackets welded to the dash bracing, I also was able to kind of make some interior panels here, which these will be just the inner structure. And two, I had this one cut perfectly to this contour here, but I didn't quite have room to fit it up to the bottom, and I don't really want to keep cutting in the floor, you know, parts I don't have to, so I ended up just making a sacrifice to the panel. That's why that one fits, you know, fully to the door frame, and I may cut that one back a little bit just because at the end of the day, that's going to kind of be behind some trim anyway, so there may be no need to cut either one, but more or less is now, I believe today, I'm going to try to get to building the dash mounts on here, and then I should be able, and I may need to pull these out first, because what I'm going to do is come back and drill holes in it, and more or less like stitch, plug weld it into the 70, and then I'm also going to kind of do the same thing with what's left of the old inner structure, and I'll come back, and I believe I'm going to cut these holes out. And I may not. I may just cut them out right where you can get to like the door plates if needed. And also, I'm going to cut a hole here so the body control module can kind of go back in the car. I also was able to get the other more or less lower cowl plate, because this car's not going to have the lower cowl in it. And this side over here was actually worse. So what I was able to do was use the template that I made from the original lower cowl on the passenger side to more or less make this one. So, and I could have got away without remaking that stuff, but to me, I feel like the cowl fits better with it. Also, the cowl has to come down, and then this will more or less, you know, weld to that plate. Also, that's where kind of like the dash body, not the dash, the fender body mount bolt, you know, mounts, which the top piece, it was kind of gone. So I'm gonna remake that, get that welded in. Pretty good progress on the car. If I get the dash fully mounted today, I'm considering taking the windshield out of the Mach one just to have a windshield to more or less get lined up on this. I know it kind of sucks because I really don't want that car getting rained in, but I mean, I could tarp it for now because, you know, considering I'm able to keep going on this thing and get it done, it wouldn't be that long before I'm able to start on that one, hopefully. So without any more, let's get on it. So this is the best way I could figure out or think of to come up with more or less getting my cowl angle. This is on a 69 parts car. So I'm gonna zero to the rocker, and I'm gonna come up here and check the angle of this cowl, which it's 1.4, just, you know, kind of right there. And more or less, I'm looking for 1.4 degrees on this cowl. I'm gonna zero this to, you know, the body swap car rocker, and then I'm gonna more or less set the cowl at 1.4 degrees. And I believe that should be spot on. There's not much guesswork in that. It's as long as you can kind of match the angle, should be good. And that's kind of what I've used as a reference on some of the dash stuff like that. I didn't really do it on getting the body sat. I went more by measuring off of what I knew was straight, like the bottom of each rocker, and then of course leveling the chassis with like a bubble level. So that's just for anyone kind of wondering, you know, I don't know. There may be other ways to do it, but for me that seemed to be the simplest. So just a little tip. So that turned into a little bit more of a chore than I wanted it to be. I was using just a razor blade, kind of cut it from the inside, and then I, a little bit heated up just a tiny bit. And then because I was out of piano wire, so I ended up just making the trip to Harbor Freight and buying their little kit, and that made it so much better. For those of you that's done stuff like this, you know how hard it can be to cut out a windshield without cracking it. So, not as bad as the S197 Mustang, but still, at the end of the day, I didn't crack it, so I'm gonna come in here, get this, this where I set on the ground, get it kind of cleaned up. That way I can go ahead and finalize my dash fitment. The one set of the rear quarters came today. I ended up just using the box from those to kind of lay the glass on to get it cleaned up. So I guess what I'm gonna do next is go ahead and get the glass kind of sitting in there and trim whatever I need to on the dash, and then lower the cowl down. And then from there, that'll kind of give me the last thing I need as far as to know, like, hey, cool, the dash will be pretty much finalized to go ahead and make mounts for it. And I need to go ahead and do some kind of hood hinges so I can at least have the hood mounted. And then from there, we'll kind of figure out what's next. So I think that seems, in my opinion, to be kind of the next best route to go. All right, all I had to do was cut off about another inch of the dash, just kind of flush with the cowl there, and the windshield sits in, no problem. And really, and I'm sure, I don't know if you can buy, I guess you could probably buy windows like this now, but kind of how the newer style Mustangs do, that, kind of like a black strip. And I'm pretty sure I could get away with just more or less taping this off and painting a black strip along the bottom, and you'll never even notice that the depth's up just a little bit further than the cowl. So far happy with that. Just gonna go ahead and pull it back out and then pull the dash skin out and go ahead and build the mounts for the dash bar. So let's keep going. Bolts in like a factory dash. Just have to finish boxing these mounts at some point. that's gonna be it for this video. I gotta. That's 3 days worth of stuff. I figured, you know, more or less, go ahead and start recording a couple days at a time and kind of putting them into one video. You know, the more I do it, the better I'll kind of get with it, I think. So basically, I've got the interior sitting in here mainly just because tomorrow I'm gonna get the cowl fitted, and you know, I'll have the windshield stuck on. And I was mainly wanting to make sure that everything's still lined up. We ended up getting the dash 100% mounted. I used the OEM mounts and just kind of shortened them. So everything looks good. The console lines up. I'm going to go with carbon fiber stuff here. This thing has a couple little dents in it. But yeah, I can't shut this door because I just got a Cleco holding this rear panel. Which it actually lines up really well as far as the, you know, wheel gap, not wheel gap, but center to center. So considering I didn't have a wheel well to kind of measure off of, I think that was pretty damn good. And then too, this is a 285 tire on the back, and it's not poking at all. Of course, I'd like wheels with a little bit more offset in them, or like you know, more of a concave and offset. So I don't know if I'll end up needing to flare that, which if I do it, I'm just going to widen the quarter panel. I'm not going to do some crazy stupid flare. So yeah, next video should be have the hood hinges. You know, that's kind of the last big thing to do, because I did go ahead and start welding in the interior panel as far as, you know, kind of boxing in. That's done, you know, on both sides. It's not done, but I mean, it's got a lot of really good, probably, you know, stitch welds on it, which I'm going to fully weld it. So next thing will be the hood hinges, getting the hood kind of mounted. Everything does line up really well. The cowl, I just need to drop it down a tiny bit, and then it'll kind of be, once I have the front end mounted, it'll kind of be getting into the finished stuff as far as like getting the front end to, you know, where I am going to tube up and sheet metal, the wheel tub's done, and of course I'm going to have to weld, you know, a lot on the rear end before I can put the quarters on. But you know, so far so good. I think it's been 2 weeks. I don't think most people realize how much work this really is. I don't think I realized how much work it was when I started, which I guess, you know, I had an idea, but you don't really notice it until you're in it all day, every day, which it's fun. It's really coming together, and kind of seeing it, you know, see it kind of sitting here almost looking like a car. It feels really good. So I'll update you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. See you later.